What is going on, guys? Thanks for checking out this video on my sports Gematria. Just wanted to go over my Milwaukee Bucks pick for the NBA Cup championship. I'm now officially 2-0 in NBA Cup championships. I won last year's and the first one, which is the first one, and I won the second one here. And I just want to go over what I did for the pick, just so you guys can have, I don't know, maybe just as like a little sports gematria lesson or something for you. But this is what I wrote down on my page, and I'll go over the numbers too. I have them right here. It's kind of similar to my football videos, if you haven't seen any of my past NBA videos. But I have the daily numbers on this side, date numerology, Gregorian Hebrew calendar. Then I have my game numbers on this side. The way that I structured it is the road team is up top, usually their coach's record, their season record, and any other type of records to go with that specific team, if they're on a winning or a losing streak, stuff like that. In the middle is the all-time head-to-head record between the two teams, as well as for the season, as well as for the regular season, if it were to be a regular season game, which this wasn't. And then the bottom's always the home team, their season record, their coach's record, on a win streak or losing streak, if any, things like that. If they played the day before, they're playing the day after, or tomorrow, or the next day. But for this particular game, the NBA Cup, none of the records count for the regular season. And none of them really necessarily count for the playoffs either. It has its own special category. And so the websites that I use for the coaches' records, even though it has the coaches' regular season record and their playoff record, and you can see combine the two, it doesn't have the cup record, at least not the ones from last year. So I can't use the coaches' record for this game because it doesn't have, the Lakers coach and the Pacers coach from last year. Was it the Pacers that were in it last year? Whoever it was, I know it was the Lakers and someone else. Um, on the website, it doesn't add in the cup section, so I couldn't use the all time records for the Bucks coach or the Thunder coach in this game, which is why the space here is blank, where it says just coach and it's just blank. And then for the records here, the only thing I can use for the Bucks and the Thunder was the Cup records. This is the second year for the NBA Cup. So the Bucks, they came into this game 11-1 overall as a team for the NBA Cup series. That's including last year's games as well. And they were on a 3-game winning streak. For the Thunder, they came into this game 6-4 all time for a Cup record. That's including last year's as well. And they were on a 5-game winning streak. And so that's the records I used. And then for the all-time, I used the all-time head-to-head record between the two teams because the website that I used to get the all-time records, they added in the Cup series as well. So it's their all-time head-to-head record, and it will go towards, it will be added to the website that they use for the all-time records. So I went ahead and put their all-time head-to-head here, and then their head-to-head for the season, if that all makes sense. Kind of rambling on how it's structured. But anyway, let's get into why I made the pick, why I did Bucks. I wrote out on my Patreon here, I came in with a 2-day winning streak. I went 2-0 on Saturday for the semifinals. I picked both the Bucks and the Thunder to make it into the Cup final on Saturday. But the first thing I wrote, is always my pick, the Bucks, right? That's my pick. The first word that is written, underlined, and italicized, as I always say, is my pick. And then I write out why I like the pick. And then I give out an alternative side of the other side of the coin, because there's always two different sides. You can always make a case for either side. And then you just got to pick your side. And so that's what I do. And so the reason why I picked the Bucks is the word Bucks versus Thunder equals 187. And so the Thunder became 78-81 all-time head-to-head against the Bucks with the loss, right? 187, 7881. They're just similar numbers being used. And I'll show you on the work here. 7881 had Bucks versus Thunder written up top here. Bucks versus Thunder sums to 187. Thunder fell and became 78-81 head-to-head against the Bucks all time. 7881. 187, similar numbers being used. This was the number 1 seed versus the number 1 seed, and this was the Thunder's 11th NBA Cup game. as a team, and the Bucks sat on 1 NBA Cup losses as a team with a win as they became 1-0 head-to-head against the Thunder for the season to go with. So what that looks like worked out. See the Bucks here. They're the number 1 seed. Thunder's the number 1 seed. Bucks sat on 1 NBA Cup losses as a team as they got their first head-to-head win against the Thunder for the season. And then also you can say it was the Thunder's 11th NBA Cup game as a team to go with. Is the 5th prime number. And the Thunder got their 5th NBA Cup loss as a team while ending their 5-game winning streak. So 11th NBA Cup, the 1 seed versus the 1 seed, where the Bucks sat on 1 losses and got their first head-to-head win against Thunder for the season. Number 11 mathematically is the 5th prime number. Thunder got their 5th NBA Cup loss as a team and their 11th NBA Cup game as a team as they end their 5-game winning streak. And then the last thing is 37-date numerology on the Gregorian, the 12th prime. Bucks got their 12th NBA Cup win as a team. Over here, 37-date numerology, the 12th prime. Bucks became 12-1 for an NBA Cup record as a team. And then some other things that I didn't write down in the write-up. Giannis, his first and last name sums to 253. It was the 253rd day of the Hebrew religious side of the calendar, as well as the 352nd day of the Gregorian, 352, 253. These are just reflections of each other. And Giannis, his first and last name sums to 253. Also, it was the 156th day of Damian Lillard's 34-year-old age on this game. Milwaukee Bucks written out sums to 156. The word Bucks sums to 34. The star player on the Bucks wears the number 34. Lillard wears the number 0. So I thought that was interesting as well. But yeah, so that's why I picked the Bucks. Those are the numbers that I chose for it. That's what I wrote out for it. You know, there's definitely numbers for the Thunder that I wrote out here for it, for the alternative side. The 74 was definitely an interesting connection. T-Mobile Arena equals 74. The Thunder could have become 7-4 for an NBA Cup record as a team with the win. That was a possibility, but they didn't, and we rolled with the Bucks. But notice what I didn't use. Like you see my write-up, you see the way I do my work. I have it set up. Notice what I'm not using to make these picks, or even to make this particular pick. Notice what I didn't use. I didn't use what? Any news stories, new or old. I didn't use any prolific figure in history, whether new or old or alive or dead. I didn't use any particular religious sect of any sort and say, because of this religious group, this is why they're going to win or lose, or anything like that. It was just basic mathematics, basic Gematria, using date numerology for the Gregorian and the Hebrew calendar. Why use the Hebrew calendar? Well, Gematria is a Hebrew practice. So that's why we add the Hebrew calendar in with it. And then just going off the basic game numbers that are available to us for the particular game, like the win-loss records, and that's it. Maybe some other stuff like the Bucks versus the Thunder. Sometimes I'll do stuff like that for like championship games or specific games like this. During the regular season, I won't use like players' names and stuff like that. But the team name, Gematria, just like I said, basic Gematria stuff to and from their birthday, just like what we use for football. But yeah. After seeing what I used, notice what I don't use. But hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you kind of a little insight lesson. If you had the Bucks, awesome. If you had the Thunder, it's just a learning experience. So just kind of learn from it. Go over your work. Look at other people that had something different. See why they picked it. And just kind of grow from it, I guess. But thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. I really appreciate the support. Hopefully this helps. Hopefully this gives you insight to the game. And I appreciate you guys watching. Thank you again. And I'll see you in the next video.